Now, Stacey Abrams' comment about working with the counties, no one probably agrees with that more than the Chief Executive Officer of DeKalb County, Michael Thurmond. Thank you so much, Mr. Thurmond, for joining us. Now, you're calling this primary, quote, a statewide meltdown yourself. I know Ray of Hope Christian Church stayed open well past 7, I think 10 o'clock last night. And we started getting emails and texts about DeKalb problems at 7:01. So what was happening in your words?
Well, it was a lack of preparation, a lack of proper training, a lack of just focus and attention to ensuring that every Georgian who seek and wanted to vote could vote. But first, Karen, I think we need to thank the men and women, the poll workers, who put themselves in harm's way yesterday, many of them not adequately trained, to help to facilitate the electoral process. We've overlooked that, and it's a shame that people at the state level fail to acknowledge and thank these men and women, many of them who are underpaid, who put themselves out there to try to help and assist.
They're saying that, COVID-19 actually had a big effect on this. Many poll workers not showing up because they were worried or didn't show up for training. So whose fault was it they were not trained? Is that the Secretary of State or is that the county?
Well, first of all, the Secretary of State's office uses a train-the-trainer model. The first level of training is provided by the Secretary of State, and then there are trainers who go out across the state of Georgia. One thing that was underestimated, we know that African-American seniors have a disproportionate rate of infection and death with COVID-19. Consequently, more of them chose, quite frankly, to protect their health and possibly save their lives by not working on election day. This had to be taken into account in terms of getting enough people and enough machines in place, and the fact that many of the machines just did not work.
And quickly, CEO Thurmond, you're calling for a comprehensive top-to-bottom investigation into this. Do you think the Secretary of State's office was not prepared for this primary?
Well, we can learn from our mistakes. The first thing I've learned is to look inward and not outward. Rather than pointing fingers at someone else, you began the process by looking inward and saying, what could we have done better to reduce the amount of problems that we faced? I think Ms. Abrams was right. The Secretary of State must work with the counties in order to ensure that this chaos does not reassert itself in November or even at the runoff that's coming up.
All right, CEO Thurmond, thank you so much for your time. We will talk to you some more about some of the other things that could happen to get us ready for the August 11th runoff. Thanks again. Now for the latest on campaign